In this video, we're going to be finishing up our level and bringing it into Godot and setting up a few things, mainly the doors. Now, I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video for this one, and I need to get them all pretty much done today, as students are up to this part now and requesting the next few videos, so that's where I'm up to. One thing you'll need to do before you save this or import it into Godot is you really need to have the doors, in this case you see I've got two doors here, separated as separate groups. Now the easiest way to do that is when you've got your door object there, just right click on it and group those objects. I've named it door, but it doesn't really matter. Godot doesn't pick up on it and call it anything in particular. So that's really fast spinning. But there we go, I've got that door. So now in Godot, what I want to do is I've got my world with my player and my HUD in it. Now I might change these around in a minute, but what I'm going to do is make a new scene, and it's going to be a 3D scene. I'm just going to call it, what will I call it? I will call it level 1. And I'm going to add in the Godot map node here. And then from here, over here, I'm going to select the map file. So it's going to be maps. This is where I've saved my map, and this one's test level map 2. And the base texture location is going to be maps, textures. I'll click select, and I click full build. Now, this here is, I'm not sure if this is too big or whether I need to rescale it. I'll play around with that in a second. I'll also play around with a few other things, but this is looking fine for now. So I'm going to go ahead and, so I'm just going to close that. And there we go. So these are the things we need. We don't actually need this anymore. This isn't that important once I've done this. Now these are the doors. So I'm going to call this door 1 and door 2. I'm going to go ahead and add both of these doors, this door and this door, into, I'll just have to do it separately, node groups. This is going to be in the door group. And this is also going to be in the door group. For these doors though, I'm going to add a simple animation to them shortly. I may be able to do this with tweening nodes, but I haven't really played around with those. So I'm just going to make the animation that will work, and that'll be good. So let's go ahead and go back to, actually what I want to do is bring these out and put them here. There's a reason for that. I'm going to add a navigation node to this. I'm not going to do a whole lot of explanation with this one. I'm really just going to kind of fly through it. Then a navigation mesh is a child. This navigation mesh, I'll go to the inspector and add a new navigation mesh on it. One thing you'll notice is in newer version of Godot that they are updating the navigation nodes. So the code that I've written so far is going to be deprecated in the future. I'm not going to go back and change it now, but it will not work in the future, and it tells you what to do. Use navigation server.map_get path instead. So there's going to be a new tool here for this. So just be aware of that. I'm going to bring this down into here. What that's going to do is allow me to make a navigation node or navigation mesh without the doors in it, because currently if I do it, the doors will block it and enemies won't chase you through the doors. So I go to navigation mesh, bake mesh, and that's actually pretty good. Don't worry that it goes on the roof. The enemy won't be able to find a way up there. Neither will you. And it's okay that it goes down in there. I don't think the enemy actually goes into that spot, but there are ways that you can adjust that navigation mesh in here, so like kind of angles and things, and you can play around with that. Remember, if you want to scale the world, you need to do it in here, and then apply the navigation mesh. You can't just apply it when we put it into here. So I'm going to save this scene now. Everything should be good. Actually, no, it's not, because I need to do the door animation. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in an animation player. And I'm going to put these as individual, unique to those doors. You'll see why shortly. Animation player, and I'll create a new animation. So you make it open door. They're all going to have the same one, by the way. And this is just going to be really simple. The collision shape and both of these things here, I am going to go transform. I don't think I can do it separately, unfortunately. So I'm going to go transform and set that. I'll just use Bezier. That'll be fine, like that. And I'm just going to set the translation of it. That's all good. And I'll do the same thing on this one. Transform, translation, done, like that. I'm going to go to the 1 second mark, and then I'm going to move this down. I'm going to select them both actually, move them down to about there. And then I'm going to go ahead and select this one. I'll just do it for this door. I won't worry about the other one for now. I'm going to keyframe that. Actually, I will need to do it for both. And then click on that and keyframe that. So what should happen when that door plays is it should just do that. That'll be our door animation. I'll do that to this one as well. So animation player. And that is, make sure it's reset to the start. Oop, there we go. Okay, so this one here is this door all the way over here. And I'll go new animation, open door. Make sure it starts at 0. Keyframe these, the transform, just that one. And this one, transform that one. Then I'll skip ahead to the 1 frame second mark, pull that down until it's on the ground. Don't worry about the nav mesh, and then keyframe those 2 things again. There may be a quicker way just to do it down here. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and keyframe that translation and keyframe that one. All right, so there I've got my 2 doors and they're animated. That didn't take too long. I'm going to save this scene as level 1, save it into scenes. Go to world where I've got my world, and I'll bring that scene into here. So level 1, that's all good. Now I can just quickly test this. I've got my player here. Thankfully the player was in the right place, or roughly the right place. And you may notice that I actually removed the bottom from my player. The reason for that is in this bit in particular, where's it gone? This bit here and these stairs, if I have that square base, you're not going to be able to go up them. So you can actually just delete that square collision that I said was going to be the feet. You can delete that, and the player will move up it. So if I play this scene now, hopefully everything's all good. All right, so we've got this. Now I probably have some code on my player that if I push F on this door, it's going to remove the door. It does. But I actually want to play the animation. So let's go ahead and look at what this code looks like. It's pretty much right at the bottom here. You will need to define a use key. I defined my use key as F, because we're using E for next gun, because I couldn't get the mouse wheel, scroll wheel to work. Still haven't been able to do that, not sure why. And I have added to the player a raycast. It's enabled. It is -3 on the z-axis, 0 on the other 2. So it's just a short distance forward from the player. I could probably make it a little bit bigger than that. 4. If the interact, so if you push the use key, if the interact cast, which if that's what I've called it, is colliding, if the interact cast dot get to collider is in group door, instead of Q3, I'm going to say dot get animation, no, get node animation player dot play open door. So this should let me go up to a door, push F, and the door should open. There we go, door opens, I can go through. And you'll see that I can walk out of those, and I can also walk up these steps, up to the door, hit F, door opens. It doesn't close behind me. You could put that on a timer so that the door actually comes back up after a little bit of time. That would be fine as well. All right, so that's the door video. To add keys, it would be as simple as, if you look at the power up video, to just check to see which is coming up next. See how to do power ups and stuff and add things. You could add a variable in the game stats that checks what key they've got, and then you could check to see if they have a particular key. So you could have a group here, green door, and if it's a green door, if the player game stats dot has green key equals true, then you can open the door. Otherwise, don't open the door. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to get up to sound effects for this series, but I do have a previous video on making sound effects. So you can always look at that one that's in the platform controller one, then making a one-screen platformer, which I do have to make one more or two more videos of, and I did find the code for that. I had a GitHub project that's slightly older than the one that's on the video, the latest video did, but it does have most of the code there. All right, next video we'll look at creating a health pickup, ammo pickup kind of thing, and you'll be able to see how that works, and then you can run with that.